Why Jiu Jitsu?
Why? Because it takes everything you think about being uncomfortable in life and makes you do it on the mat and forces you to be uncomfortable to the point where even if you get this, you still find positions where you're uncomfortable, and you make that into everyday life, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier. My name's Boudro. I'm a black belt under Sean Fowler and Brandon Gumtel at Honu. I've been training 9-ish years, we think. Nobody's exactly sure, I don't remember. And yeah, I train here, and I get to train at 10th Planet with Boogie a couple days a week. And it's been going on for 5 years over there now, 5 or 6 years. So originally when I started training, I was in the Navy, and I had been deployed somewhere between here and Japan. I was on a submarine, and one of my buddies used to train before. He was a white belt, and we started watching videos. Every port we pulled into, we would start, we'd go to the gym. There's a great gym in Yokosuka, Japan. We'd find guys like, hey, you want to roll, and do whatever we saw on TV. And eventually we ended up in New Hampshire, and I met Kevin Watson, who's Marcelo Alonso black belt. Such a great guy that it just took off. I started training. I trained 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I'd wake Kevin up at 6 in the morning, make him come to morning classes when there was snow on the ground and he'd want to cancel it. And it's that stereotypical thing where it just changed my life, and I wouldn't know what I would be doing today if I wasn't training all the time or worried about this. And it really did just put a huge impact and made me a lot calmer, better human being, and allowed me to put all my energy into something positive like Jiu Jitsu and training. Like everybody else says, they get better. We talked about it before, like starting to get better at all the basics. You think you're really good, and you realize like, oh, leg locks. Now you want to learn all the different about leg locks, make sure leg lock works. But at the same time, I want to learn about self-defense. Don't want to be a black belt who can't defend myself in the street, I can't do takedowns, or I don't know how to block a punch, or don't know that basic self-defense aspect. So to learn just, there's always something new, whether it's might be wrestling aspect or boxing aspect, and incorporating that in jiu-jitsu. I mean, as everybody knows, it's a never-ending thing. You're just going to keep learning and growing and making sure everybody else goes and evolving and going from there. Teaching makes you see all the small details. It really sees like the impact of you knowing much more, so you can show everybody else the better aspect. So that way you're giving people the best, because like everybody, the people training behind you right now are reflections of what I teach them. So I want to make sure they're the best reflection, they get better, so eventually when they want to branch out and have their own school or whatever they do, they're the best possible. So teaching makes me have to be so much better to make sure they're better every day. It's crazy just that feeling when you see somebody hit something you taught them, or the confidence they have into it. And you're like, I helped them get to that point.